The courtroom was silent. A jury of 12 people sat frozen in their seats. The defense attorney had just revealed something no one expected: a single piece of evidence, hidden for months. Evidence that could destroy the entire case. And when it appeared on the courtroom screen, the prosecutor's face went pale. Because this was the one thing they never wanted anyone to see. Courtrooms are supposed to be places where the truth is uncovered, where every piece of evidence is examined, every witness questioned, and every fact brought into the light. But sometimes, evidence doesn't disappear by accident. Sometimes, it's hidden. And when the truth finally comes out, it can change everything. This is the story of a trial that shocked everyone in the room, because the most important evidence was almost never seen. The case had already captured national attention. News stations covered it daily. Social media was filled with speculation. At the center of the trial was a man accused of a crime that had shocked an entire community. Prosecutors claimed they had a strong case: witness testimony, phone records, circumstantial evidence that seemed to point directly at the accused. To many watching from the outside, the outcome seemed obvious. But inside the courtroom, things weren't as clear, because the defense team believed something critical was missing, something that could change the entire story. During the investigation, detectives had collected dozens of pieces of evidence: photos, video footage, digital records. Every item carefully logged into evidence. Or at least, that's what everyone believed. But one member of the defense team noticed something strange. A reference buried deep inside a police report. Just one line. It mentioned a recording that had never been shown in court, never discussed by the prosecution, and never included in the official evidence list. At first it seemed like a simple mistake, but the more the defense looked into it, the more suspicious it became. Because that recording might prove something very important. The defense filed a motion with the court. They demanded access to the missing recording. Prosecutors pushed back immediately. They argued the recording wasn't relevant, that it had no value to the case, but the defense refused to let it go. After days of legal arguments, the judge finally made a decision. The prosecution would have to turn it over. What happened next shocked everyone, because when the defense finally received the recording, it revealed something investigators had never mentioned. The timeline didn't match. Days later, the courtroom was packed. Journalists filled every available seat. Everyone knew the defense was about to reveal something important. The lights dimmed slightly as the courtroom monitor flickered on. The video began to play. At first, it seemed ordinary. Security footage from the night of the crime. But then, the timestamp appeared, and suddenly the entire prosecution timeline fell apart. According to the video, the accused wasn't where investigators said he was. He was somewhere else entirely. The room fell silent. Jurors leaned forward in their chairs. The prosecutor stared at the screen, because this single piece of evidence changed everything. For months, the prosecution had built their case around a specific timeline. Every witness, every argument, every accusation, all of it depended on one critical assumption. But the video destroyed that assumption completely. If the timestamp was correct, then the accused couldn't have committed the crime the way investigators claimed. The defense attorney slowly turned toward the jury and asked a single question. If this evidence existed the entire time, why wasn't it shown before? No one in the courtroom had an answer. The judge immediately called for a recess. Legal teams rushed into private conference rooms. Reporters ran outside to broadcast breaking news. Because this was no longer just a trial. Now it was a controversy. How had such an important piece of evidence gone missing? Was it a mistake, a failure in the investigation, or something much worse? Those questions would soon become the focus of the entire case. When the trial resumed days later, everything had changed. The jury now had doubts, serious doubts. The case that once seemed airtight was suddenly filled with holes, and the evidence that almost stayed hidden may have saved an innocent person. But the most disturbing question remained unanswered. If the defense had never found that recording, would the truth have ever come out? Cases like this remind us how powerful a single piece of evidence can be. Sometimes the truth isn't obvious, sometimes it's buried, and sometimes it's hidden. What do you think? Was this evidence intentionally kept out of the trial, or was it just a mistake? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy real stories that uncover hidden truths, make sure you subscribe for more. Because some of the most shocking cases are the ones where the truth almost stayed secret.